So as we're laying on the ground, let your arms be in a place that just feels good and open for your body. So for some people, it might be a little bit lower. Some people might be more immediately off to the sides. Some people a bit higher. Just choose a spot that feels super helpful for your arms and your shoulders. And notice whatever spot that you're at. Notice if this wider arm position helps the breath go really deep and really full. Notice how that breath wants to flow for your body today. So as we're laying here, letting these deep breaths get our body more prepared for our class today, we'll take a moment to connect with our intention for today. The image that we're working on is the image of the Greek myth of Atlas. Atlas was the one that had to hold the world up on his shoulders and on his back. And if you look at the statue of Atlas, he's very hunched forward because the world is extremely heavy. And so notice, if you kind of watch people, notice the people that are carrying the weight of the world on their shoulders metaphorically, they kind of tend to take on that same shape of Atlas. The shoulders kind of round forward, the posture is more forward, just hunched, and it's like there's so much weight that they're trying to carry. So in our class today, a big thing that we're going to be doing is working on helping those shoulders ease up a bit. But imagine as we're going through this class that it's like if we've got that weight on our shoulders right now, the more we get the shoulders just open and stretched out, imagine that it's like we don't have to carry that weight so any longer. It's like our body is just ready to let it go. And we just have to carry on what we need in this present moment, and that's it. And so with this kind of almost relief, this permission that I'm giving you to not have to hold so much, with that relief, let's take just 2 more good breaths, getting our body prepared and started. And the second breath is even deeper. Beautiful. So here's we're going to start our first physical thing. Start to take the knees into the chest. And today when we've got the knees in, place a hand on each kneecap. And rather than kind of our hands directing the knees, today let the knees direct the hands. So let maybe one hand push one shoulder into a stretch. And then get the second arm into the stretch. Maybe this is still kind of doing those circling motions for the low back, but mostly it's about helping those shoulders feel good. Maybe you just find a good spot and pause. That's allowed also. Just enjoying a couple more breaths like this. Beautiful. So from here, let the feet go close to the glutes, and then arms are going to start up overhead. What we're going to do is take bridge pose, so the hips will lift up and down at the same time that the arms take almost like a rainbow motion, going down toward the hips and then right up overhead. So in this starting position, when the arms are up, the hips are down. We begin here with the hips lifting up as the arms come down by our sides. Inhale, hips down, arms up. Exhale, arms down, hips up. Don't feel like you have to go the same pace as me. It's whatever speed your breath is flowing. Huge inhales when the arms come up. Exhales when they come down. This is helping to warm up those shoulder muscles. Let's take 2 more full cycles. Beautiful. When hips work their way back down to the ground, slide the left leg long. The right knee comes into our chest, hug hands around that knee for a moment. And for this first one, just give the knee a chance to get pulled into the chest, just however deep it's willing to go at this moment. And then setting up like a half happy baby pose, right hand tries to grab the outside of right foot. The knee gets to go wide. Yep, so right hand, right foot, knee wide. At first, it's about the hip, so let that knee get closer to the ground. And then let's make this about the shoulder. So now the foot pushes up to the point where the shoulder is kind of lifted up, out, and forward. So you're kicking up enough to the point where it feels good. Some people can get the leg almost straight from that kicking position. Other people, it's going to be, the leg significantly bent still. So it's not a huge competition, but what happens, it's just what feels good in that shoulder. Good. Let's take another beautiful inhale. And then exhale as this left leg slides in closer. Take the right leg crossing tightly over it. So it's essentially setting up eagle's pose. So with the right thigh going over, get the right elbow under, trying to wrap the palms if possible. We want to start off with the shoulders going away from the ears. So shoulders sinking down. And from there, fingers trying to see if they can touch the ground right above the head. So that ease the shoulders down. Good, easy first stretch happening here. We'll take 10 sets of crunches. So inhale, take our breath. Exhale, elbows up to thighs. And then taking another breath, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Arms start to spread open to each side. Let the knees start to tilt over to the left. Doesn't have to go super far. Just find the spot that feels good for hips or the back. And feel this contrast, this really expanded state of the upper arms. Especially after being so twisted, it feels nice to let them spread wide. A nice inhale. Exhale, hips are going to work their way down, back to the floor. Right leg is welcome to drop down to the floor, and then hug hands around this left knee. With that brief moment for the knee to start coming closer to the chest, we're starting to get some of those muscles around the hip joints. Then left hand grabs left foot for half happy baby. Again, it's first about the hip, pulling that knee as close to the ground as possible. And then make this about the shoulder. Foot pushes up, kind of pulling the shoulder forward out of its socket into a stretch. Again, if the hamstring's able to stretch out also, that's great. If not, just let the leg go as straight as it will. Keep on kicking that hand forward. Doing one more good inhale. Good. Exhale, release it into eagle. Left thigh crosses over, right. And then left elbow under. Shoulders down, fingertips try to find the ground right above the head. Breath continuing to flow. Preparing for 10 crunches, take your inhale breath. Exhale, doing 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, and 2, and 1. Good work. Arms spread open, and the knees start to tilt to the right. Especially focus just on the shoulders and the arms, trying to stay in contact with the ground as much as possible. And another good inhale. And then exhale. Let's allow hips to return back down. Let's take a moment for both legs to stretch clear up to sky. Just a chance to let them go long. Arms are still spread open, left and right. So just 5 cycles. We're going to let the legs tilt partway to one side, and then our exhale brings us back up. If you want it to be slightly easier, the knees will be more bent. That'll be easier for low back. Straight legs is harder, so you choose. But tilt partway to one side, inhale. Exhale brings us back. And feel how here the shoulders are our base. That's what keeps us steady and firm on the ground. Just 4 more each. 3, 2, and 1. Amazing efforts. Let's come up all the way to a seated place. Sometimes it's nice to do a nice little rolling action 3 or 4 times. Eventually, when you're happy, let's just go to a nice little cobbler. Especially let the shoulder blades, when you're forward, just let those shoulder blades just relax. Spreading open. Lots of space there. As we start to sit up tall, let the legs open up to a nice wide shape. Right hand plants in front of the right leg on the floor. The left shoulder peels back so that the shoulders are stacked. And then this left arm starts off straight up to the side. And then if you can keep the arm straight, continue to lean that arm over toward right leg. Good. So arm lifts back up. Left hand plants. Remember, right shoulder peels back first, and then reach up to sky. Maybe the arm continues to go over if shoulders can stay stacked. Nice inhale. Exhale, rise. Let's find a hand on the floor. Just take a couple of breaths to let those shoulders just reach in that forward reach. Beautiful. So rising up, legs can stay or they can come together. So we're taking the hands onto the floor behind us. I personally like to walk the pinky fingers close together, but wide can also be nice to lean on your shoulders. Either way, walk back to the point where you feel a slight shoulder stretch. Obviously no rounding. If you round, you're completely taking it out of the shoulders. So very straight spine from hips up to shoulders. And just walk far enough back that the shoulders are opening really nice. We'll stay in that spot, just 2 more good breaths. Good. Easing our way up. Let's take our legs into either cross leg with right leg in front, or if it feels okay for the hips, maybe half lotus, right leg on top. So either way. And then a right hand touches the base of the neck. Left hand grabs the elbow and pulls the elbow behind the head. If the head got hunched forward from that, head pushes back until we're sitting tall. So this should be helping you feel kind of the back side of the shoulder as well as the tricep. A couple of breaths here to help us open. And release that, taking the second half. Left hand works its way up, maybe to the low back, maybe middle back, or maybe in between shoulder blades. Right hand just helps. Grab with the wrist, grab the forearm, maybe walk your way to the elbow. This one should be pretty intense for me. This one's more intense than the other. It's very much on the deltoid itself, the shoulder muscle on the left side. Here you've got a little option. You can either stay if this is a good stretch, or you can try to see if you can connect the fingers together, keeping the bind behind your back. This the first one isn't bad though, so feel free to take that. Good, just one more inhale. Exhale, a brief break for shoulders, find the floor, and just ease your way forward. Okay, when we come back up, we're gonna switch sides. So now, left is crossed in front, or left half lotus on top. Left hand is at the neck. Start off by grabbing the elbow, helping that side out. Okay, taking the bottom half, the right hand works its way maybe up to the shoulder blades or maybe not quite that far. The other hand helps by grabbing on the wrist, forearm, or elbow. This is the spot we can either stay or maybe try to go for the clasp. Kind of some nice initial stretches to get those arms more and more open for us. One more inhale. And then exhale, easy release. Find the floor. Let's ease our way forward. Just a couple of breaths. When we work our way back up, let's come onto our knees. When we do our cat-cows here, really pay attention to the shoulder blades. So when you take the cat, those shoulder blades are getting super spread away from one another. And then when you go to the cow, maybe the shoulder blades fuse together a little bit. So we'll do just a few more rounds, specifically paying attention to those shoulder blades, up and down. One more good round to each. Beautiful. So from here, we're taking a plank. You could also drop down to elbow plank, and we're just gonna try to hold for a count of 5 breaths. Especially feel the shoulders engage strongly, so that would be more close to the spread apart version. So try to lift up your knees, holding the plank if possible. Here's a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take ourselves down onto belly. Just a nice, easy cobra. Elbows are welcome to be bent if needed. And take a moment to let the shoulders kind of collapse. So shoulders are going kind of by the ears. And I just want you to feel the length as we press the shoulders down. Lots of length in the neck. So from here, take one more inhale. And exhale, let's all take a nice child for a moment. Shifting the hips back, just let those arms rest forward. Knees can be as wide as necessary. You can stay a bit longer here, or at any point, take a nice little downward facing dog. Those legs attempt to stretch. Nice inhale. And exhale, no matter where you're at, let's make our way up toward the top of mat. Leaning down for a moment. And then come up to a nice half lift, hands on the shins. Let's feel the right arm rotate up to a nice little twist, trying to reach up to sky. And down. Left arm up. And down. So that easy circling of the arms as you rise up. Good. Hands down to heart. Now, each time we find ourselves here, it's almost like add on. We're going to start with one thing, and each time we do it, we're going to add on something else. So this first one, we'll take the arms out to left and right. You imagine that there's this ball that you're trying to circle your hands around. So when you circle up and forward, you kind of take a slightly hunched forward position. And then you circle around. When the pinkies start to lift, you arch back just a little bit. Keep the core still tight, so there's not so much rib splaying. But we'll do a few rounds of that. Circle under, and then circle around until you arch. Good. So maybe another 3. 2. 1. Good, and then just let the arms rest by each side. Try to feel the shoulders weighed down, like we're no longer holding anything there. Beautiful. Try to keep the shoulders that relaxed as you circle up to the sky. Inhale. Exhale, easy forward fold. Nice half lift. When hands come down to the floor, just right foot steps toward back of mat. Drop the right knee down. Hips are sinking forward. Make sure the knee doesn't go past the toes. And if you've got the balance, try to come up. And again, if you can stay with balance, try to take the arms out in front of you. What we'll do is a few rounds of squeezing the shoulder blades together. The arms get closer toward us. And then reach the arms forward. The thing is, try to keep the arms parallel to each other. It would be easy when you squeeze the arms to let the arms go wide. So instead of that, just keep the arms like train tracks. So squeeze, and then pull them forward. Good, let's take another 4, and reach. 3, And 2. And 1. Good. Float the arms up to sky. Maybe even arch back just a little bit. Nice inhale. Exhale, front leg, let it go straight. Drop the hands down, a little break for the shoulders as we stretch that front leg. Toes can be pointed, toes can be flexed. It's really up to your body. Feel what feels best. Okay, as we start to take this left leg underneath us, kneeling, we're going to drop back down to elbows. From elbows, try to take a plank position. So try to lift the knees up. Our head is going to go forward and backward, rocking on the feet. Let's take another 9, 8, the little shoulders, 7, 6, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop the hips down. You should be going straight into Sphinx. So in Sphinx, with the elbows down, I like to let the belly get pulled forward and through until the abs are stretching. Try to, again, find that length in between shoulders and ears. And start to widen the elbows until you can plant the hands just a little bit wider than that. Press about halfway up toward cobra. The shoulder stretch, right shoulder rotates forward to the center and then drop it down. Good, press back up. Left shoulder, same thing into the center and then lower. Beautiful, rising back up. Find the hands sliding on the floor underneath you. And you can either press directly up into downward facing dog or into child pose. Take another good inhale. Nice exhale. Let's begin to walk our feet up toward top of mat. When we get there, go back up to the half lift. And then let the right arm try to reach up to sky. Pull that shoulder open and down. Left arm up to sky and down. Circle arms up to sky. When we come back down to the heart, here we're going to play that add-on game. So arms open left and right, trace the circle, rounding slightly forward and back. Taking another 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Now the add-on here, clasp your hands together, flip the palms up, but keep the elbows bent above the head. So from here, it almost is like a backstroke. Your right elbow and shoulder is lifting up and stroking back, and then your second side. So right, left. Kind of circle back and circle back. 3, 2, 1. Good. Coming back to the center. Again, let the arms just drop down by your sides. From that mobility of the shoulders, try to feel the weight just running right off your back. Good. Easy inhale, circle the arms up. Keep them relaxed away from ears. Exhale, forward fold. Nice half lift. And then hands down. This time left foot slides back. Drop the knee down. Hips are going forward. Try to rise up to this balance spot. If you've got the balance, again, if you need hands to be down, that's okay. But if you can take arms out in front of you in that parallel position, let's squeeze the shoulder blades together behind us, and then arms slide forward. Good. Take another 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Float up to sky for a good breath. Maybe arch back if that feels nice. And exhale, straighten the front leg. Just enjoy that nice stretch. Another good inhale. Exhale. Slide this knee back underneath you. And let's do that same thing again, the head being the battering ram. Let's lower down the elbows. I'm gonna lift up the knees in that plank position, and head goes forward and back. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hips down, Sphinx. Nice abdominal stretch for a moment. Belly through. Lowering down until hands can find about as wide as mat. Press about halfway up. Let's do that same shoulder stretch. So right shoulder dips down into the center. And then left shoulder. Good. Rising up. Lower down. Hands can come closer. Press back. Your choice. Child pose or down dog. Eventually make your way up toward the top. From the half lift, again, take right arm to twist up to sky. And left. Beautiful. Both arms easy. Circle up to sky. Hands to heart. Okay, number 1, arms out, tracing that ball forward and back. Here's 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Clasping hands, foot palms up, elbows are bent. Backstroke right and left. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Now, hands back up above head, elbows still bent. And we're going to add on pulling the hands just a little bit backwards. You're pulling back to the point where the shoulders or the pecs are starting to open. Stay there 2 more breaths. And then easy release of the arms. The shoulders are just dropping heavy down. Core is lightly engaged. And just enjoy another good inhale. Exhale. Good. Keep the shoulders this relaxed. Start to shift your weight into left foot. We're going to try to see if our right knee can come up. If it can come all the way up, that we can clasp hands around the knee, what you'll do is push the knee into the hands until the arms are in that shoulder stretch. If not, just balancing, totally counts. Good. Another inhale. Exhale. Start to fill the arms feather light, open like airplane. Very little muscular effort. And then kick this leg back. Trying to get warrior 3 for a good inhale. Exhale, land that foot, warrior 1. Arms sweep up to sky. Nice inhale. Exhale, hands clasp behind our back. From that clasp, try to pull the arms into that shoulder stretch, bowing forward. Good. Hands drop down to the floor. They're on the inside of the front foot. So the hips counterbalance our weight back as we walk our fingers up toward that top right corner of the mat. And I'm trying to pull those shoulders and arms wide. Nice and long. And walk the hands in closer so that we can cartwheel up to warrior 2. And then we'll really feel the arms and shoulders open into triangle. So front leg straightens. So that left hand reach forward. When it drops down, it goes to shin. Top hand up to sky. Feel that top shoulder staying open. The back is really straight. Feel that reaching directly up. The next inhale. Exhale, rising up. Shorten the stance so that we can take pyramid pose. So facing the hips back forward. Stance is just a little shorter, 2 straight legs. And then our hands are going to start sliding down that left leg. Maybe you stay at thigh. Maybe you can go down to shin. Sometimes floor is possible. And bending the knee if needed to rise up. So the arms just feather light, floating open to each side. Try to go through a warrior 3, tilting as far forward as you can balance. Good. When the torso rises back up, we'll take eagle. So right thigh crosses over. You can always do kickstands, but hold on the floor. And then right elbow under. Good. Release the feet. Give the arms a little bit longer. So maybe you're twisting elbows to the right and to the left. Sometimes it's nice to lift the elbows directly up to sky. Or bring the elbows into the belly button, rounding forward. Just find a spot that helps those shoulders. We'll take 2 more breaths wherever that is. And allow the arms to spread open to each side. Pull the arms slightly back. Good. Start the circles, circling around a ball. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hand clasp, flip up, bend elbows, and we're above the head. Back stroke. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then arms up above head, hands pull back a little bit. Let the elbows still be a little bit bent. Instead of just letting the ribs go, try to keep some engagement in the core. Good, release. Allow the hands to clasp behind our back, and then the hands either go to the right hip or all the way to the right waist. And then whatever spot it's at, the right ear drops to right shoulder. Good, head up. Hands over to the left hip or left waist, and then left ear down. Good, head up. Arms release at our sides. Feel the weight just drop down. Keeping them that easy. We're going to shift our weight into right foot. Left tries to float. Maybe just stay here or maybe clasp. And then the knee pushes forward to stretch those shoulders. Good. Easy release into airplane arms. Stepping back. Warrior 3. To land, warrior 1. Arms sweep up for a moment. Hands clasp behind the back. Take that shoulder stretch, pulling behind as we bow forward. Hands drop to the inside of the front foot. Fingers try to walk to that top left edge, hips go back. Walking in, heart will open to warrior 2. And triangle, front leg straightens. So the reach go forward before it drops down. And then top coming up to sky. Good, easy rise up. Shift the hips to face back to the top, so stance usually shortens a bit. Hips are all the way forward. And then we start to take that pyramid, sliding down maybe at the thigh, maybe to shin. Sometimes floor is possible, don't feel like you're forcing anything. Knee bends, rising up. Arms easy, float open, airplane. Shifting our weight forward, warrior 3. And torso rises. Take eagle, left thigh over, left elbow under. Feet release. Leave the elbows a bit longer, maybe going left and right, or maybe up and down. Find angles that are helpful to the shoulders. And with our easy release open, let the arms go straight down by our sides. Like the arms are weightless, there's nothing on our shoulders, on our back. So keep that kind of ease as we start to circle arms easy up to sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. And then we'll travel down, working our way all the way to belly. So maybe go through plank or maybe just to knees to lower down. Good. When we're on our belly, try to place the right hand on your sacrum. So it's like the thumb trying to turn out if possible. From that hand, yep, just like that, from that hand on the sacrum, use this left hand on the floor to help you start to tilt over to the right. So that elbow is still wide because the hand's on the sacrum. You rock back to the point where it's starting to do a gentle tug on the shoulder, a little stretch. Head doesn't really rest down for this, but you could if it's comfortable. Just be here, another good inhale. And then exhale, ease out of this side. When we're on our belly, left hand tries to go to the sacrum. Press into the right hand until we've got that shoulder opening. So for me, it has to go a little bit past this upright plane. A little bit more open than that. Good, taking a nice inhale. Exhale, ease out. This time, right shoulder goes straight off to the right. So right cheek can be on the floor this time. Press into the left hand, maybe the hips stack. If you still don't feel enough in the shoulder, maybe the top leg reaches back or even flex, rotating open behind you. And lowering down. One more side, left arm open, left cheek down. Lifting up that right hip. Maybe the top leg rotates back, maybe not. And a nice inhale. Exhale, lowering down. As we take our way back into child pose, you have two options based on what your shoulders might want right now. So you could either take a lateral walk, hands going clear over to the right for that type of shoulder stretch, or hands staying forward, you can thread your right shoulder under and through for more of a forward stretch. So it just depends on what your shoulders want right now. Take the first half of whichever one you're doing. And easing out, maybe the second half. And as we start to ease out, we'll take the next minute or so to do any last stretches that your body might want. So you could do some seated stretches, you could go on your back. I personally am gonna do the one where I'm trying to do that clasp behind my back one more time each side. But you could do that or any other things that just help your body feel complete right now. Just keep on going until your body knows it's time for Shavasana. There's no rush at all. Take even another couple of minutes if needed. Up to your body to help you know when. We begin to deepen our inhales. And our exhales. Introducing little movements back to fingers and toes. Ankles and wrists. Stretching out like we're waking up first thing in the morning. some point, taking a nice fetal position up to one side. Doing a few bonus breaths, maybe 3 or 4, until you feel ready to rise sooner or later. So with hands at the heart, we lift our spine up, stacking it tall, and we feel our shoulders easily just rolling back. It's as if we had any cares, we have the choice and the ability to let that roll right off our back, realizing in this moment, all I have to do is breathe and take my next step. And so as we head on, we remember we can include more self-care. We can slow down a little bit. The weight of the world doesn't have to be up to just us. And so with these thoughts to help lead us on to a more easeful, restful, less Atlas-like day, let's wrap up the time we shared together today with the sound of Om. Inhale now. Om. May we be filled with light, and happiness, and peace. Namaste.